So I have some of these tough text panels laying around. I always keep some laying around just in case I need to make a window on a chicken coop or something like that. So what I like to do is, because I like to see when the horses are in the stall versus if they're out on the pasture. If I'm looking for them, you know, I just want to make sure I can peek in there and see them. So what we'll do is we'll slip this piece of clear tough text panel in here, and then that'll give me a window into the stall while all the while blocking all this dust that's coming out of their stall. So I thought that was pretty slick. So there you go. Let me keep on going here. And also it'll let a little light into the shop here, which is also another challenge that we have, is having enough light. But I'm going to fix that with some more of these clear panels. I'm going to put some up on the front of the building, so I'll be able to, I'm having troubles with the gloves and the little small screws, and they're falling around, so it's just how it is. I'm not really caring about it. And plus I'm trying to talk to you guys. So there you go. But anyways, I'll have more windows up front like this to let more light inside of here so I can see real good. And the object is to make this the complete wood shop up here at the wood lot. These tough text panels, you can get them at any big box store. I know Lowe's carries them. And we've had them on our greenhouse over there that you guys see in the videos. I think this is our 4th year. This might be our 4th year with the greenhouse. It's been through hail, wind, the whole nine. Hasn't faded or anything. This is dirty just because it's been laying around. It's been pretty abused, but we haven't had any problems with it. And you have to make sure when you get the panels that you get the right panel. Even if you don't get the Tough Text brand, you want to make sure you get the right panel. Don't get the plastic panels. The plastic panels are going to fade on you. Those are the ones that give you trouble. Anybody that you ever hear who has trouble with these type of panels, if they don't get the Tough Text panel like this, or they get another brand, they have to make sure that you get the polycarbonate panel. Get the polycarbonate panel. That's the only panel. If you guys go out and get the clear plastic panels, over time they get brittle and they break. Alright, that's a real nice application there. You guys can see how that's working, right? Cool. See how good those horses are? I haven't even worked with them in a while. Most horses would have scurried out of here when they heard all that ruckus. But you got to have those horses broke for the road if you're going to use them. All right, I'm going to keep adding my tin on down the line here. But as we opened up this video, I showed you guys how the horses were kind of scratching up in their stall. And they're creating this big plume of dust, right? Now, if you guys have been following our channel for a while, my wife and I live in a log cabin on 11 acres. We live kind of like the pioneers did back in the day, but we do it in the 21st century, meaning that we don't have any public utilities, right? We create our own electricity via generator for right now, soon to be solar panels, but we just don't use a lot of electricity. And we grow and harvest most of our own food, you know, we do fermenting. That's the way we preserve our food around here. And so we just share this stuff on YouTube for you guys. Man, it's really warm out today and the humidity's really kicked up. Ha! So you guys can get some ideas if you want to live off grid, or if you want to live a sustainable lifestyle and growing food and just being a little more responsible for yourself. You know, I always look at, you know, dependency. Who are you dependent on? You know, besides the one answer, but the for real is right here, right now. who are you dependent on? If you're looking to the system for your dependencies of your food and your water, even your transportation, that's why I have horses, you might want to rethink that. So that's what we teach you guys around here on our channel. But this dust is out of control. Now last summer we had this whole barn concreted, and I thought, man, that was going to fix a lot of this problem. And before, it was really bad in here. And actually it did fix a lot of the problem. We coasted all the way until the middle of June here, and there was no problem. It was not bad, it was tolerable. And then all of a sudden we had this dry spell because it had been raining quite a bit, and all the dust just started kicking up from them and the gravel road. We live off a gravel road. So those two things started adding up, and man, I'm just trying to get ahead of it because it gets really dusty in here, and all of our tools are in here, and we can't have this kind of environment. So the next step of creating the woodlot office, if you will, is going to be, sectioning off this wall, and then I'll do something up there a little different. I wanted to go for the quick fix real quick, and then I'll probably get some plywood and put that on the other side, creating the barrier fully. But I'm going to reevaluate that here when I'm done with this. But this for sure will keep it down quite a bit because the dust does travel, but probably not all the way up to the ceiling. But like I said, creating this barrier right here will really cut down on the dust. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to get this done right here. And I think Stacy is down at the outdoor kitchen. She's probably whipping up some dinner. We don't really eat dinner, and we don't really eat lunch. We eat right around 3, 4 o'clock. That way it gives us plenty of time to digest our food and to use our food for energy. You guys don't eat your food and then lay on your couch. That's how you get to be heavy, right? So food is meant to be energy. The more you eat, the more you should get out and do stuff. So we eat then we finish up with our daily chores, and then we hit the sack, kind of enjoy each other's company, and talk about the day and all the things that went on. So you guys can hang out with me for a little bit, and then we'll go check in on Stacy down in the outdoor kitchen or garden or wherever she is. I think I'm gonna have to cut a little nip out of there too. We're gonna have to get us some snippers.
Well, I'm sure glad that Doug is working on that wall to keep that dust out of our equipment and our tools, because that's been a long time coming. It was crazy. We thought the concrete would kind of fix that problem, but it's amazing over the past month how much dust and things from the roads and from the air have been coming into there. So I'm glad he's working on that, so that'll be awesome. But right now I'm in the garden, my favorite place to be, and today you guys know where I am. You know what this is? You get one guess. You know what these are? Turnips, turnip greens. So I had talked about them in another video, how healthful they are, your greens. Make sure that you're eating your greens, not just the root itself, because the whole plant is amazing. But what I'm gonna do today is, as you can see, there's quite a few holes in here. These are getting a little bit older. We've had such wonderful rain and temperatures, and then all of a sudden it got so hot, no rain. So things are kind of getting the heat. So I thought today would be a great day to harvest quite a few of these turnips, and I'm going to make a really great dish that I think you guys will love, because Doug and I really enjoy this one. But I want to show you, this is an interesting turnip. I have never planted this turnip before, and I'm going to have to read the name. How many people remember to mark their things? Because half the time I'll plant things and I always forget to write what it is sometimes. Make sure that you guys use a marker, because half the time I forget what I plant and where I plant it or the name of it. So this turnip is called Hanona Kabu, and it's kind of cool because it's a cylindrical turnip. So let's pull it out and look at it. So see how they are? They kind of look like a turnip carrot. Pretty neat, huh? So I'm going to harvest quite a few of these, and then we're going to go inside. I'm going to show you a quick, simple, easy recipe that anybody can do. It only has a few ingredients and easy. And when you're harvesting, you got to make sure that you don't break them, because it's real easy. See, they're so long. But that's the benefits of using the raised bed. Your soil's nice and, what's the word? Loomy. And it breaks apart really easy. See, this one I broke. All right, let's get going here. I'm getting hungry. It's a hot one today. So I'm just gonna separate the greens from the actual turnip. And these greens, I always talk about how healthful greens are. These turnip greens are probably one of the top. I mean, they're top in lots of different things, but they're one of the top in vitamin A. And vitamin A is great for a healthy immune system, but also for your eyesight. So I know a lot of us, as you get older, your eyes aren't getting quite as good. I mean, when you put these greens, it could be mustard greens, your kales, especially these are one of the top. So turnip greens are great. Don't throw them away. The greens are amazing, so use them. But today, since I have lots of these and some of these are getting a little older, I'm going to give them as a treat to some of our livestock, some of our sheep. So they'll really look forward to that. It's funny, I've been feeding like little Elsa, our little lamb that I've been bottle feeding, and some of our sheep. They love the vegetables from the brassica family, and this is a brassica, like your cabbage and your kales and your radishes, cauliflower. And the greens are so loaded in your calcium and magnesium and potassium. And they're getting the benefits from that too. So I like to share my greens with them. And in that way, they're getting all the health benefits that we are. So don't forget about your livestock, guys. We're going to peel them. So you're going to use your potato peeler. And I have to tell you, I found this at Aldi. I love it. It's sort of like a razor. This is the best peeler for carrots or for beets, or I love this thing. So if you guys can ever find one of these, this is amazing. So you're going to peel them because the skin is a little tougher. So I'm going to peel them. Now let's talk about the actual turnip root itself. It's a great source of fiber. So everyone is lacking in fiber because everyone needs that good digestion. So it's a good source of fiber. And it's a low carb food. So if you guys are watching your carbohydrates, let's say a lot of people compare turnips to potatoes. It's like the potatoes have 3 times more carbs than the turnip. So this would be a good source. So instead of having regular potato mashed potatoes, you could have turnip mashed potatoes, right? Or mashed turnips. But turnips are loaded in vitamin C as well as the fiber, and they have folate and B6. Now B6 is a really good one for a lot of us to help the health of your immune system and your nervous system. So adding that to your, and those B vitamins are so crucial for everybody. As well as, just like the greens, you're going to get a lot of iron from this. You're going to get your magnesium and potassium. So all those things, they all work together to keep your body healthy and your immune system. And that's what we want, a healthy immune system, right guys? To keep us strong, to fight off disease, fight off sickness. And then the thing is, I was talking about the greens too. Greens are life. Chlorophyll, they're full of chlorophyll. So we want to put as much as we can into our diet. It's very cathartic, the sound of the peeling turnips and the birds outside and the roosters and the chickens. So now I have my 3 piles. I have my chicken pile, I have the Doug and Stacy pile, and I have my sheep pile. So all I'm going to do is cut these in chunks. So most of you guys will probably use like a regular round beet. So maybe like 2-inch chunks that you're going to do, because we're just going to put it in some water and then we're going to boil it for a few minutes. So I'm just going to kind of cut these down a little bit. And don't say anything, I like this bread knife, I use it for everything. Ah! I'm shooting turnips everywhere. That'll be a good treat. Molly loves her vegetables. She eats her carrots, her apples. She likes to even go into the garden in the garden beds, and she jumps up on her hind legs and she likes to chew the greens. She's a healthy little dog. Just like potatoes, I'm going to put it in some water and boil it for about 15-20 minutes or so until, while we're waiting for the turnips to boil, I'm going to feed our precious sheep over here. Hip, hip, hip. Come on, guys. Hip, hip, hip. Hey, Elsa. You want some greens? Rambo loves his greens. Here you go. Come on, guys. Let's eat them. Oh, Molly likes her greens too. I told ya. Here you go. Is that good, Rambo? Oh, you like your turnip greens. Oh, no, be a good girl. Let him eat his greens. All right, let's do the chickens. Molly.
Cut. Time for the muscle.
I had to call in for reinforcement. Yeah, it's been about 30 minutes or so. So make sure you start your time from the time that it starts to boil. So when you're cooking your vegetables, probably the worst way that you could prepare them is to boil them because all the nutrients go in the water. So I'm not going to waste my water because it's filled with all the nutrients from my turnips. So what Doug is doing now is he's going to strain this because I'm going to use this as basically a stock that's full of vitamins and minerals. And I'm going to make a vegetable minestrone from all the things I have from the garden. So I have some zucchini I'm going to put in it, some of my cauliflower, I can put some cabbage in there, put a bunch of greens in there, some rice in there, and I'll put some red pepper flakes, kind of make it a spicy minestrone, and then that way I could go ahead and I'll have minestrone soup for a while. So that way I'm using it all. So right now he's just going to strain the rest of it out.
Got my free facial.
Got a few of these out. Now here's a mistake that I did when I first started making these mashed turnips is I kept too much water in it after I drained it. So it's really important because you don't want this to be, it's not going to be fluffy like regular mashed potatoes are. So I just have it on low. I'm just going to kind of have the water evaporate on here.
So the name of the game is getting all the moisture out of the turnips.
Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add the things that are going to make it taste delicious. So we're going to need some butter. You can use butter or ghee. And I'm going to go ahead and put about 4 tablespoons of butter. Because you know that saying, butter makes it better. And then some of my dehydrated garlic flakes. Probably about a half a teaspoon of that. And then my Redmond real salt.
If you guys want to buy Redmond real salt in bulk, we have a link down below. We are affiliates with Redmond. We love them. They're sponsors of our Homesteading Life Conference. And the benefits of their real salt is undeniable.
It is. It does have a great flavor.
Just good for you.
So I probably did about, you can go ahead and do it to taste. I probably did about 2 teaspoons. But I'm going to taste it. I may add more because the salt really makes it taste good. And then here's the ingredient that really works well. You can probably do a couple things. You can either use about a half a cup of whole milk. You could do a half a cup of sour cream. I'm going to use cream cheese. So anything like that, just kind of give it a little creaminess. So put that in there. And then I need my potato masher or my turnip masher. Now, since these aren't real potatoes, it is a little bit more liquidy. So what you can do is you can put it on the stove. Well, I'm going to put it back on low just for a little bit longer, and then it will thicken up. So I'm going to do that, and it tastes really good. So I put it on low another 5 minutes, and it turned out wonderful. Doesn't it look beautiful? You taste it. It's really good. And this will be really good the next few days. And you know, I guess over the years, turnips have had a bad rap. They always call it the poor man's food. And I remember growing up, I never ate turnips because my parents were like, because they were all from the old country in Armenia, and you know, no one ever used to eat, you know, you were considered that you were poor if you ate turnips. So I never really grew up on them until I got older and realized how nutritious they are, and then when they're made correctly and you put good ingredients in them, they can taste really, really well. So now that we have our garden and our garden beds and all that, I love turnips and try to do a lot with both the greens and the roots. But what we're going to do is we're going to eat this a little later tonight with our meal, And like I say, it'll be good for the next couple days. And leave a comment below if you guys are gonna try this recipe or if you have any awesome recipes that you make with your turnips. So have a great day and I will see you guys later. Bye.